This is a new one that's gonna be on the EP.
1 hour north of the Golden Gate, a borrowed car led foot to lane.
I'll talk about this song for a second. Yeah, we stayed up so late, and I was with my producer Bodhi and my manager Liam. We just like wanted to write that night, but like it wasn't really flowing. And Bodhi was playing the guitar, and he had kind of like come up with these chords. I had written the first verse, and we were like, is this like too corny? And I was like, no, I kind of like it. Let's stick with it. And we were trying to find the melody for the chorus. And it wasn't sounding chorusy. And then I just sang. And I knew by the light of the morning, honey, you were just something I wanted. But I wasn't intending for those to be the lyrics. Like, I just was trying to find the melody. And I was like, okay, not these words, but like, what about this melody? And they're like, that's it, that's the melody. And they're like, but also those are the words. And I was like, wait, yeah, those are the words. Which is so interesting, like how I never used to co-write or like be with others while writing. And it can be such a powerful tool, having other perspectives in the room and ears, because they were just like, wait, that's sick. And it's very like evocative. And I had been just using them as place filler words. We had, and I knew by the light of the morning, honey, you were just something I wanted.
A little bored, a little blue, and I'm untethered.
A little bored, a little blue, and I was like desperate to make it a little bored, a little blue, a little horny. Like, and like I just remember Bodhi was always like, yes, go for him, like that. He was like, maybe not. Like, maybe that's not the song. He's like, yeah, you could try it in another song, but maybe not this one. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're like kind of horny, and you're like probably better. Like, anyway, what could have been? Yeah, we stayed up till like 4. And I remember we woke up the next day and we had really only I had gotten that first verse down. I could not figure out the lyrics for the next part. Like, we were kind of tripping and we stayed up way too late trying to do it, whatever. But we got the part that we needed. We got the best part of the song. And I remember saying that's why it's so important when you have the energy to write, like, and to just start. Had we not decided to get Red Bulls and like stay up till 3 and kind of fuck around, we would never have gotten to that melody the next day. It's like there's always something in the atmosphere and in your brain and in the chemistry and in the like energy of the room that leads you to whatever comes that day. And then we recorded it the next day. So this is like a first day demo. It hasn't really been worked on since.
By the light of the morning, honey, you were just something I wanted. The road is lonely, but it goes on forever. Tastes like pain. And
Yeah, I had been listening to a lot of Noah Kahan. I had like finally spent a full like week with his record before I flew there.
Oh, there was heaven in your eyes.
It's always interesting how like whoever I'm listening to can influence melodies, songwriting choices.
And I don't get much sleep most nights. Yes, the boys are drunk, the sun is high.
The reference we had come in with for that session was like 70s. Like we were listening to like America and like Eagles and like it's a very 70s progression, but I think the lyricism and the melodic choices are kind of Noah. The second verse is about me getting fired.
I wrote it shortly after getting dumped and fired in a pretty quick succession.
I was like dealing with like romantic rejection or a breakup, this breakup like that had dragged on for years, and then getting fired for the first time in my life, and like it was pretty gnarly. And I just like went in the other room and I was like so emo, like I think I was crying, and I just wrote this verse, and then I was like, okay, like I think I have the verse, and they were like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, like, and I did it, and they're like, it's really good.
A lot of the songs on this EP are about this relationship, which I'm sure you've surmised was fairly destructive.
The relationship had dragged on way longer, I don't even know if you can call it that, way longer than it should have, and was so much more destructive to me than I was willing to admit while it was happening.
The no good love tastes like pain, and losing yourself's not a price worth paying.
And I wrote this song when it was all over. I was trying to channel the feeling of being like, I'm alone. Like, I'm alone. I'm not with this partner anymore, and I no longer have the identifier working at this company. And like being alone is so scary, but it's also comforting. It's like, I can handle this. Like, I believe in myself. I mean, it's so corny, but like, that's kind of how I was feeling. I was home in my childhood bedroom, alone, dog sitting, and it was quiet.
A quiet house is a gut check.
And that was disorienting and lonely, but also hopeful. And I think this is, for me, a song about coming home, not just literally, but to oneself.
Returning home to oneself after a sort of disorienting relationship, and really like relishing that no matter what happens, we always have ourselves.
Yeah, and I was also like finally firmly in the path of being like, I'm going to be a musician. I'm not like beating around the bush. I'm gonna try at least. And so that was scary, but also like obviously exciting. My mental health and like my well-being is so much better now. I think I'm better off now. Woo! 2 years ago, I was anxious as fuck living in Manhattan, literally selling mattresses. I think I just was like genuinely heartbroken in a low grade, constant way that I wasn't pursuing music. It's crazy how like even when you're fucking tutoring kids in AP US history to try to like make money. Ways to make a little money, nothing pays better than doing what you love. You had to move back to your parents' house and like all that shit. Like, I still feel better about myself now than I ever did when I was like working at a startup in New York City.
I'm very touched to be back in New York. When I moved away a year ago, I was really not at my best, partially because of a really horrible relationship, partially because of a horrible job. No shade, no tea to my former coworkers that are here. And largely because I kind of thought that the music dream had died or was dying, and I was really heartbroken over that.
I always knew I wanted to do music from when I was like teeny.
Took a lifetime tuning my compass. It's harder learning to trust it.
It's like truly a dream of mine to be doing this and to be writing songs and to be singing them and hearing people sing them back to me since I was 6 years old. To say that I'm living out my 6-year-old self's dream is an understatement. This is like everything to me.
I'm doing this for like that 6-year-old version of me, knowing that this is like all she ever wanted. Her first email was frannyrockstar@yahoo.com.
Amazing.
And yeah, I wanted to give it a real college try.
And a few years ago, as I mentioned, when I was living in New York, I thought that would never happen. So I'm really, really grateful.
At the start, the sheets burn coldest, but next comes the warming.
Anyway, that was a fun one. I think like Liam, Bodhi, and I all feel very attached to that song. We got strings done for it, and it sounds unreal. The strings are crazy. There's this guy in Toronto named Aaron Paris who's good friends with my producers and managers, and he like does like Ariana Grande and like SZA strings and stuff, and like he's just like the best guy ever. So he just did strings on it. Like, we sent him the song and he just did it. Meaning, like, we didn't give him melodic lines to do. He just, like, spazzed on it. And it sounds crazy. I'll play a little bit of that.
Something I wanted. A little bored, a little blue, and I'm untethered. The road is lonely, but it goes on forever. And I knew by the light of something I wanted. You did me wrong, but I will do better.
Damn, sometimes it's like the longer I have a song in my brain and in my voice, the more runs I start improvising, and the song's already recorded and submitted to streaming platforms.
Honey, you were just something I wanted. Honey, you were just something I wanted. Honey, you were just something I wanted. You did me wrong, but I will do better. The road is open and it goes on forever.
But that's why I'm excited to start doing some shows.
The no good love tastes like pain, and losing yourself's not a price worth paying. Don't know when, but I'll get there somehow. I'm getting out of the business of missing what's weighing me down. The night tires out, and I knew by the light of the morning, honey, you were just something I wanted. A little bored, a little blue, and I'm untethered. The road is lonely, but it goes on forever. And I knew the road is lonely, but it goes on forever. Oh, okay.
That was like Red Taylor. Like, is that like debut Taylor? It's a little country.
Yeah, it's not that country, Kristen, you're right. It's just that, like, I think the writing style, I, like, allowed myself to lean a little more, like, howdy. But, yeah, I think it's definitely more singer-songwriter, like, Americana, kind of. But also, like, these are all just, like, weird categories that, like, don't make that much sense to me. Like, you know, we love a road metaphor. I don't know, like, as if I'm including myself in the country community. But honestly, like, everyone likes a road metaphor. I feel like if you were to, like, identify the most used metaphors in lyricism, roads.
The road is lonely, but it goes on forever. The road is open and it goes on forever.
Roads. Another and the fork stuck in the road, running on empty. Fucking life is a highway. Life in the fast lane. Give me a break. It's just like too easy as a metaphor for life. Yeah, country roads is another one. Easy street, literally Grace. I'm not okay. Why do I keep doing this? Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
A little bored, a little blue, and I'm untethered. The road is lonely, but it goes on forever.
And now, since this is apparently Song Exploder MHB's version, here is Something I Wanted by Frances Whitney in its entirety.
North of the Golden Gate, a borrowed car led foot 2 lanes, and I think I'm finally learning now that no good love tastes like pain, and losing yourself's not a price worth paying. Don't know when, but I'll get there somehow. I'm getting out of the business of missing you, weighing me down. The night tires out, and I knew by the light of the morning, honey, you were just something I wanted. A little bored, a little blue, and I'm untethered. The road is lonely, but it goes on forever.
And you haven't been fired? No? This is a true story.
Lost my job on a random Friday, went too far, doing things my way, but I think I'm better off now. Finding ways to make a little money, nothing pays better than doing what you love, and I'm sure we'll figure it out somehow. I'm getting out of the business of missing what's weighed me down. The night tires out, and I knew by the light of the morning, trusted. Falling asleep in my old bed, just me in my head. At the start the sheets burn coldest, but next comes the warning. And I